Hi, good evening. I did a study about a week ago on Monday and Tuesday. I live on Red Sky Road, and I sat in front of the Albuquerque Academy on the entrance to and I sat at the entrance to the academy, and I had a little counter. And on Monday, there were a little over 1,000 cars, students and parents, dropping kids off east and west, entering on Harper. And on Tuesday in the morning, there were 750 cars. And what I'm concerned about as a parent is that if you've ever come down Harper heading west, the traffic backlog on the curve where nobody can see the oncoming traffic backs up pretty bad. And there are children that ride their bicycles, ride their skateboards, and walk to the academy, can cross at Harper, so they cross at Red Sky Road. Now, if we have an entrance to this project on Red Sky Road, where are these poor kids going to cross, number one? And then number two, has the traffic department taken into consideration the number of accidents that have happened on Harper early in the morning and late in the afternoon? And I don't have a figure on that because the police department wouldn't release it, but I know in the last month there were 7, just in the morning alone, people trying to cut across. So what I'm concerned about is the traffic entering on Red Sky, the accidents at Harper, kids crossing. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And the last thing that the woman allowed me to say very quickly is, with the liquor problem, serving liquor, and it's on special events, there are still guests that are going to show up and they're going to drink. And they're going to be allowed to get in their car and they're going to leave. And that concerns me also on the project.
Okay, Hugh?
My name is Hugh Killen. I'm president of the Heritage Hills Neighborhood Association. And I'm concerned about a couple of things. Number one, the parking requirements appear insufficient. Both of the current retirement facilities in our area, which are on Palomar, have people who park on the streets, have cars parked on the streets, and sometimes in the vacant lots nearby. So the parking that's designed by the developers is not adequate. And I'm not sure, from what Mr. Lloyd said, although I have confidence in him enforcing the rules of the city, whether the city criteria for parking are adequate. Because I don't know how they could have allowed the development of these 2 retirement centers that obviously do not have adequate parking for their facility. So I'm very concerned that the number of parking spaces in the development have been completely underestimated. I don't know how they can use 240-odd parking places to support 157 units of people who are mobile, as well as 140 employees. I got 30 seconds to explain that they haven't adequately shown the elevation of the property and the design the steps down. I think each of those steps should be associated with a specific elevation, and that information should be presented to us so we can make a more valid comparison.
My name is Paul Piper, and my wife and I live at Ground Zero. We're in the White House with the red roof in the yard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beautiful lawn.
You know, we had some facts and figures thrown out here about the number of vehicles and everything, parking spots and everything. But you know, by the time they're done landscaping this project, we're going to have a stop and go light down there. We know that's going to happen. We know people are going to be parking across the street in our, up and down the harbor there by where we live in Red Sky. My wife and I, instead of looking across, the yard now and into the open space and the Manzanas and the Sandias, we're going to be looking at stop and go lights and 4 stories of ugly. I guess mine is more of an emotional plea. Like I said, we're at ground zero, and we're going to be looking at this as well as you are. We were hit with this a couple of weeks ago. None of us knew anything about this until a couple of weeks ago when they tried to ramrod this through the council. And I am pleased to see that all my neighbors, Cherry Hills and stuff, are stepping up to the plate this evening to voice their opinions. I appreciate your attendance here this evening. And like I said, this is more of an emotional appeal than anything else that I can offer tonight. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, I'm John Plunkett. I reside at the intersection, the corner of Rosewood Drive and Cherry Hills Drive. I can relate to the traffic using Cherry Hills Drive and Rosewood as shortcuts. A written statement that I prepared. The clientele of the proposed project constitute a driving group which is at risk for impaired ability to judge approaching vehicle speeds, pedestrian rights-of-way, and other distractions. The potential for collisions between traffic exiting or entering the proposed project with existing through traffic is quite high and must be taken into consideration by either denying the project entirely or putting in some form of traffic mitigating device, such as a traffic signal, or my preference would be a 57 howitzer. Thank you.